Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. If you have got a need for a big trailer to fit some big horses, this is a great one sitting behind us here. This is a 2025 Cimarron Norstar Warmblood 2+1. This is an air ride trailer as well, so we're going to throw that little combination at you and talk to you a little bit about that option on this trailer that we have sitting here. So again, if you've got maybe those big Warmbloods, you know, you just need that extra height, this is a great setup. This is a great seller for us. Before we start walking you through this and showing you all the cool features we did on this trailer, we'll go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you how the trailer is actually laid out. So what we're looking at is a 2+1 setup with a front tack room. This trailer is standard width, 6'10" wide. It is 7'10" tall, so that's where we get our extra height from. We're 24.5 foot on the floor. We have a 5-foot front tack, but this trailer has really evolved for us over the years. A little bit of a history lesson is I've been involved here and worked at Transwest and working with Cimarron for about 11 years now. And when I first started, we would carry one 2+1 with pretty standard rubber torsion axles, 4-foot front tack, manual crankjack. And since then it's evolved into, we carry about, I would say somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 6 2+1s on hand or on order at all times. Some with rubber torsion axles, some with that little bit more basic setup. But we carry quite a few of these air ride trailers, these loaded up ones like we have sitting here. This is a fantastic trailer, and again, great seller for us. So it's not just your standard 2+1 out there on the market. We're gonna show you all the cool features and options on this. Air ride's the big one. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but we'll just jump into this trailer. Cimarron, all aluminum construction. You're gonna get an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, and then you're going to get a warranty on your tires, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. The first thing when you look at this trailer that you're going to notice is the nose profile on this one. This is Cimarron's V-nose setup. We love this on these trailers because, hey, this trailer's taller. It will catch more wind with that being 7'10" tall versus the standard 7'1" tall trailers out there. So this V-nose, and I love the profile of the nose. It's not like some competitors that come to a real abrupt point on their V-noses. I think it's almost like a harsh look to it. This is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing because of the profile of it, but this makes a massive difference in how well this trailer pulls. Again, we have air ride, but then we have a tall trailer, so again, it's going to cut through you know, the air and getting down the road really well. So we love that. We'll show you inside the other reason why this profile of this nose makes a big difference for storage in the nose when we get there. You're going to have an adjustable coupler, gooseneck coupler, made by B&W. This guy can slide up and down in there. It's a low profile handle, so if we really have to get it up in there, that was always a little bit of a challenge on some of those couplers, but this has been a really good relationship between B&W and Cimarron. It's about the 3rd generation we've done there. Underneath the gooseneck, this is a really nice trailer, very well equipped. Why not put one of these guys on it? This is the equalizer, electric over hydraulic with a manual option, so you can override and in emergency situations get this on or off. You're going to notice the spare tires up. One is we have this V-nose, it's standard width, and then this guy here, this is a 17.5 wheel and tires combo that we'll show you when we get to the back, but a little bit bigger, and because of the footprint of this guy, it's got to be elevated and up out of the way. With this setup, you're going to get your battery box, and we've done a couple things in this battery box. So this is the bigger battery box, 12-volt battery disconnect. That's a real important piece because this trailer's got a lot of lights. Last thing you want to do is leave a light on the trailer and drain your battery. Well, that battery disconnect, when I park this trailer, I just turn it off. Kills all power, we're not going to drain it down. Air ride, the compressor itself, it's all self-contained. That's in here as well. The reason why we put it in here is because of this box. Typically, it would actually be tucked kind of back in here, and as you can imagine, it's kind of hard to kind of get in there and operate, see what's going on with our actual gauge. So we turned it and put it in this box. It's a little more protected, but then it's right here and easy for you to operate. on off, lower raise. We've done some videos on how to operate them, so we can send you those in a more condensed version. We'll talk more about the air ride, but again, it's really nice to be able to just open this guy up and operate it. When we pull this trailer or we park it, look, we're going to be getting in here, hitting our disconnect anyway, so it's kind of nice it's all right here. This other piece over here to the left is a RedArc charger. This is a newer feature that Cimarron's been putting on their trailers here recently. If it has this setup, the hydraulic jack with the battery, you're going to get this RedArc charger. And what that is it's a true 3-stage charger from your truck. The reason why this is so important is because this guy here will also, keep this battery nice and charged up when we are hooked up to the truck. I say it works as like a supercharger versus our truck working as just a trickle charge to this battery in past setups without the RedArc. That RedArc is going to give a lot of life and longevity to that battery by having that on there. Now, Cimarron nose, we talked about this being a V-nose, but they're also 8.2 long, so a little bit longer nose. Now, if you watch a lot of our videos, we talk about the 53-inch gooseneck drop. We take it a case-by-case basis when we're dealing with some of these trailers. This one's air ride. Air ride picks the trailers up 2.5 inches, so we don't run into as many issues with bed clearance on these. With that extra height, you're going to get a ton of storage up in that nose that we'll show you here in a few minutes. So again, this tack room has evolved as well. It used to be just a 4-foot. 4-foot, basically just the recess post back there with saddle racks and some blanket poles and maybe some bridle hooks. Well, we've extended it to 5 foot because we wanted to give you a few more options just that would be useful. On our door, we're going to have a brush tray. If you wanted to add another brush tray to this, that could easily be done on this door, but it's great for smaller miscellaneous items. Fold up step going into the tack room. Anytime we're building a trailer for our inventory, we love these steps. We're going to put them on all of them coming in the tack room. It makes a big difference. Nobody wants to make these big steps into these trailers. This is air ride. It's got the taller wheels and tires, so it's a little bit more elevated. We'll talk about that air ride and loading and unloading, having it lower or raise here in a little bit, but that step's great. I mean, you're going to be coming in with maybe some totes, your tack, whatever it is. Making that big step is just miserable, so by having the fold-up steps that make it really nice. So like I mentioned, you're going to have your recess post. Here's 3 saddle racks, 3 blanket poles. What's fantastic about this, even if you're not going to use this and you're going to keep maybe saddles and a tote, something along those lines, and you don't need these in here, you just loosen up these bolts and slide them up and they come right out. So just put them in somewhere safe keeping, or maybe go, boy, I only need 1 and maybe a blanket pole or 2 or whatever you want. Changing the sequencing, you can do that. You can spread them up and down and then just retighten those and you got them where you want them. So the other thing that's kind of a newer feature is on this floor. This is the gray rubber tread floor that we've kind of brought over from the show livestock trailers into the horse world. It's been very well received. We love it. I am not a fan of carpet on the floor just because of the smell, that odor that they can hold, and they stain really easy. You'll never get it out. So with this, I prefer this even over the rubber mats, because those rubber mats are cut and they still have some gap where dirt can get underneath them, where this is sealed on the edges. This is fantastic stuff. We're incorporating a lot of other places as well. On the drop wall, these are a couple more things on why we wanted to add that foot. First is the boot box. So 12-inch boot box. It goes, I would say, about at least 3/4 of the way across this gooseneck drop wall. As you can see, I mean, we've got a hose in there for our water tank. We have our feed bags over here. Great for smaller items, just throw in there. You can use it as a bench. Nice step hopping up into the gooseneck itself. You're gonna have carpet on it, carpet on the deck, carpet on the drop wall. But then there's a good look. I told you about how that radius up there, you know, still allows quite a bit of space because of the depth of these Cimarron noses. You know, there's your added height that you're getting to deal with. But again, a lot of storage up in the nose itself. You got some windows, create a cross breeze, see out if you need to spend the night or, you know, anything like that. Clothes bar off the roof. So what's fantastic about that is, you know, with this added height too, but you can hang a lot of clothes up there, keeping things nice and organized, keeping them clean, not taking up space in the back of your truck. You have a light up in the nose. We really like incorporating a light in the nose of on these front tacks just because of the length of them. And then we've got another LED light above the door. So you have plenty of light coverage within this trailer itself. And they do. Not a big power draw, but put out a lot of lighting there. Then there's that water tank. So again, we kind of stopped that boot box. We wanted it close to the door. It's a 48-gallon half moon tank. These half moons are flat on the back side, so it really works well with these straight wall tacks, like on these 2+1s or our stock combos, maybe a squared off mid tack, something along those lines. To where we also have a corner water tank version, but that works really well in slant loads. So this one here, again, you got that hose I showed you in the boot box. You can put a ball valve, fill up your buckets outside. It is a little bit taller, so you can put buckets underneath. The second valve, you have one low, one high, if you wanted to just fill up there. But you know, it's so handy to have water on the trailer itself. You get to an event and you go, where is the hydrant? I don't even know where the closest one is, or man, it's a long ways away. I don't want to pack buckets all the way. Right here at the trailer, you've got water on board. Even when you're traveling in the summer months, you know, if you stop somewhere, you're fueling up your truck, want to give them some water, instead of trying to figure all that out, you got water right here. Last piece we'll look at is going to be the partition wall. Fully carpeted, has a pass-through door as well. So if we need to get into the stall area from here, you can. We've carpeted it as well. And then we put a couple sets of hooks for you. Those are aluminum powder coated, so they're really stout. But again, we don't have to worry about things shifting, rubbing up against an aluminum sheet. That's why the carpet really comes into play. We really like incorporating that on these tack rooms just to kind of protect everything when traveling. And again, not scuffing things up. That fold-up step is so easy to operate. When we look up at the top rail, you're going to notice we got some button lights up there, button marker lights. Get kind of behind the side ramp there, you're going to notice a 16-inch awning light there. It's going to shoot down and out. And then we've got drop windows on the heads of our straight load horses back there. So we have one on each side. You get the big, you know, feed door with jail bars that come down as well. But then if you look, this is one of the other benefits about a 2+1 is you got this side ramp. So we've gone in and extended that box stall a little bit. Cimarron did that years ago to just accommodate a nice box stall to where if we need to throw some horses in there, you know, it's a good size. But I'll show you more importantly when we get in there, the stud gates on the front aren't obstructing with the opening itself. So that's part of that. But on this instance here, this one, you'll notice a lot of them might have that Dutch door up above that swings back, and it's kind of a long door. We do build that version as well. But in this instance here, we did another flip up door with the gas shock. So here it just gets up out of the way. You'll shut it and then your ramp over it. Now, I mentioned this being an air ride trailer. So when this trailer is aired up, it picks it up even higher. Well, it's gonna make these ramps steeper. So when you're loading, unloading horses, tack, just sitting at the trailer, you're not doing anything, just have it lowered because it makes that entrance into your front tack room a couple inches lower to the ground, making it easier getting in and out. But more importantly, these ramps aren't gonna be as steep. When you pick it up, it puts more puts a bigger angle to it for our horses getting on and off. But this is great because you can load from the back. You can walk off the side here if you want. I know a lot of people might use this box stall up front for maybe just additional storage. Maybe it's a wheelbarrow. I know some people run maybe like those little crickets, those type of things, golf carts. You can put them in that box stall. That's why it's such a great setup. All right, air ride. Let's talk about that. This trailer is equipped with Dexter's AirFlex system. What's fantastic about this, if you hear somebody say, boy, that air ride, you know, it's nothing but trouble. Well, I like to quiz those customers, and a lot of times they are familiar with the old air ride systems to where if something happened to that compressor, a line, a bag, you couldn't move the trailer. This trailer here in this Dexter AirFlex system, if something happens, it sets down, it's got shocks, it's got rubber torsion axles, and you can move this trailer just like majority of your rubber torsion axle trailers that you see out there on the market, but you're not going to get stuck. So that's one benefit there. Where it really comes into play is what it does for the ride of the horses. So Dexter did testing. Behind the axles is the worst part of a ride on a trailer. Now these horses here are going to be kind of right on those axles right behind them, but they're like a school bus. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. I loved sitting at the back of the school bus when I was little, when I wasn't in trouble, sitting up front. Had my assigned seat right next to the school bus driver. Long story, we won't get into that. But behind the axles is where you get a lot of that bump. So on school buses, if you sit at the back, you hit those bumps and it shoots you. It's fun as a kid, but not fun for our horses. So 52% of the road shock is gone by having the AirFlex system. Such a better ride for our horses. Customers will tell us time and time again, I will never own another trailer without an air ride. And I can usually cut on especially long trips, I can typically cut an extra day of recovery time off for our horses because of how fresh they step off the trailer. We've done videos. It's a world of difference. Same horses, same trailer, just aired up versus the set down on the rubber torsion version of it, and the horses act completely different with the air ride. They're so much more calm and collected and not stressing themselves out. So this is a fantastic system. I know it is an upgrade. You're gonna have some added costs there, but again, once you have it, you're gonna be so happy you made that investment on it. Think about if you are traveling with this trailer a lot and you can cut that extra day off, that's less time away from home, that's more expense on the road. Guess what? You're recouping your money already with the air ride system, but it makes a massive difference on the ride for the horses. Now, electric brakes on this guy, and then the 17.5-inch wheels and tires. Nice heavy duty wheel and tire combination on this guy. The vendor that Cimarron uses for their wheels and tires, Lion's Head, they'll stand behind the tires for a year from which you purchase. So on that date, no questions asked, road debris, blowout, nail it can't be patched, anything along those lines. For the first year, they'll replace them, no questions asked. You don't go directly through Cimarron, you go through Lion's Head, but we can help you out with that if you do run into one of those type of issues. Now let's get to this stall area because we got other cool features back here. So again, as this trailer has evolved, we'll just take a look. You've got your standard ramp with Dutch doors up above. I've got them swung around. They do lock into place, so if you want to run with those open, you can. They have windows in the back to create more airflow, but there's that ramp. Again, lower it when you're loading and unloading. It's not as steep. Couple things we got going on back here. Pay attention to those tail lights there. Not only are they tail lights, but they have a built-in backup light in them. We were doing so many backup lights on our trailers, Cimarron wanted to come up with another option for us. So now in the 25 models, that is a standard feature. So you see the white little X there, that'll actually light up when you throw your truck in reverse. Think about where your reverse lights are on your pickup. This trailer is 24 foot on the floor, and then you have that nose, and so those lights are gonna be kind of worthless. Now you have some light coverage back here when you are backing up, getting somewhere, getting home in the dark or pulling in somewhere you're not familiar with. you can kind of see what you got going on. 2 8-inch awning lights up top there, kind of like I showed you on the side of the trailer. And then there's that other piece up there. So that is a spoiler. We say our Cimarrons are faster than any other trailer out there on the market because we have a spoiler. But it does have a true purpose. We're kind of joking about that. But with that being said is, if you live down dirt roads, travel down dirt roads, you know at the back of your pickup, back of your passenger vehicle will be covered in a fine dust because air swirls at the back of a trailer or at the back of a vehicle. So it's the same thing back here. We have windows in our rear Dutch doors, or we have our Dutch doors open. What we don't want is dirt going in for our horses to breathe. Let's try to cut down on that from a respiratory standpoint. So that spoiler will actually force air down and away from the trailer. So we're trying to get all that away. Again, just keeping the back of the trailer cleaner, but more importantly, trying to keep that dust, that real fine stuff from going into the trailer where our horses are at. Now, we'll go back to our original discussion about, you know, a 2+1 standard options. This has been one of the biggest, I would say besides the air ride, the biggest changes, and probably what you'll see most common on our inventory now is this center gate. So we got a lot of things going on here. It's got jail bars up top, so a lot of airflow. We got pads on it, and then it is a stud divider, but no head grill. We've actually extended it all the way. Look, this will really protect horses. They can see each other. You got that airflow. You know, they've got the pads to protect them. Chest bars, butt bars with pads on them as well. But at times you might say, boy, not only am I pulling this trailer and hauling a couple horses, but maybe every once in a while I want to give them some box stalls. Maybe I want to load that golf cart in there. We can do that. But then we got to figure out, well, what do we do with that divider? Okay, so normally we'd have to unpin it from the hinges and take it out. And then it's kind of, again, it's evolved as well. But on this one, the reason why we built this all the way as a true stud divider and made it a solid piece is now I can unpin it and I can slide it out of the way. When we would have to remove those as a couple person job just because of the length and awkwardness of it. But how simple was that? It's on a track off the actual ceiling itself that all I have to do is unpin it low and high, slide it out of the way. I can lock it over here if I want. So again, if I'm loading that golf cart, maybe I want that box stall, mirror and foal, something along those lines, I can actually just slide it over, leave it in the trailer. I don't have to take it out. I don't need help. It's that simple to slide it out of the way. This concept came again from the show livestock trailers on our cattle trailers with their traveling gates. The only difference is instead of going this way across the trailer, those gates go this way. So we literally just took everything and just turned it side, and here we are. Slide it out of the way, and how cool is that? Just to be able, the ease of operation. Again, we can remove this post, pull your golf cart in here, park it. You could work as an extra. We've got a lot of customers that are building these and using them as toy haulers as well. You know, maybe somebody's hauling horses now and then, but then they want to haul some toys. Put this post right back in. It is that simple. Or if you want one big, large compartment, you've got that capability. So that again has evolved so much, and again, majority of our inventory is going to have that setup right there. We love it, and our customers love it. It is such a cool feature. I give Cimarron a lot of credit on coming up with those type of concepts and giving us some cool options like that to take a look at. So showed you this center post here. I talked about these a little bit earlier. There's those stud gates. So now again, you can have these 2 box stalls, but if you're loading, unloading, again, these gates are not going to interfere with this side opening. So very easy to walk horses on and off this trailer. You know, loading them, walking off the side ramp. Again, bigger box stall up front here, so can easily accommodate horses if need be. You know, we've got an escape door that comes in. We've got a chest bar that goes across there. We've got a strap that goes across the actual side ramp, so we can contain everything there if we need to. But extremely well set up stall area in here. A lot of things could be done after the fact though too. I know some customers like stall fans. We could go in and add those. We've got the batteries to do it. But a lot of things can be done on the actual divider. I showed you those feed bags. The D-rings are there on the actual divider itself, and then on the sidewall over on the kick mat. So those are really easy, just clip in or take out, for instance. So now let's talk about what else we have going on here. So because of this traveling divider here, we prefer, just because we have a little bit more hardware in the floor, we prefer Werm flooring on these trailers rather than rubber mats, just for the fit when you're pulling them in and out. But honestly, who wants to pull mats? I know I don't. So on this one here, this is a permanent unpenetrable rubber mat. We don't have to pull mats out. You literally muck it out, power wash it, and you are all set. But because of those notches for our hardware in the floor, it just makes it so much simpler than dealing with mats. Now, on the bottom side of that Werm is actually the industry's best floor. So if you watched our videos, we talk about it time and time again, but it's a 12-inch deck piece that locks in high and low. It's a V-truss in the middle. The most important thing is 4-inch centers. Industry's best floor. Wherever you have a horse standing, they're standing on a support beam. So start with a solid foundation and build up from there. Then when we flip to the other side of the trailer, up on the roof itself, a couple things. We've got some roof vents. We've got 2 of them up in the front box stall, and then 2 of them right here above horses. And you're also gonna get, what's standard is that insulated roof by Cimarron. That makes such a big difference. It's so strong. You can take 150 pounds per square foot. So you can walk on it and won't dent it. Take substantial hail. More importantly, in my opinion, is what it does for stall area temperature control. 20% cooler than an aluminum sheeted roof. Makes a big difference in just the overall comfort level of this trailer. Now, we can get a lot of airflow throughout here. We have these 2-way roof vents. You see all the drop windows with the jail bars, bus windows over the hips of the horses, and those are huge. The bus window, only half of them open, so let's try to maximize and get as big as we can. The airflow divider, then you have your Dutch doors at the back that you can either open or shut them, and you got bus windows there, and create that vacuum, that airflow. Just think about, you know, a real hot day with no airflow versus a little bit of a breeze kicks up and does just make you feel a little bit better about everything. Just gonna pin that guy in place all the way around. But again, that has been a game changer for a lot of these customers pulling these trailers. So much more flexibility, and again, just the ease of operation where, hey, I can just do it myself. I don't have to go find somebody at the barn to help me or come up with a game plan to get this type of stuff done. Here's a good look at the Dutch door wrapped around. And again, it's locked into place. Everything's key to like too. So if I wanted to lock these guys up, lock up my rear ramp, drop windows, tack room, everything's gonna take 1 key. So very, very simple and convenient from that standpoint. Take a look at that feed door itself that's dropped down. Look at the massive framework around that. I love telling customers, grab a hold of that guy and shake that trailer. There's some windows out there on other manufacturers, you would not attempt to do that just because you could actually tweak the hinge. These guys here, I mean, you can shake the whole trailer and they just hold up so well. There's that escape door. So not only do you have the escape door that if you need to access something, but also if you got some horses in there, is not only do we have a bus window in there, but it's got the drop down feed door as well with jail bars. So again, airflow, we're catching air and we're forcing it to the back of the trailer for those horses. So nice to be able to do that. And then one more fold up step going into that stall area, just in case, to make it a little bit more convenient for you hopping in and out. Another 16-inch awning light on this side with those button lights. So you have light coverage all the way around this trailer and really good interior lighting as well. All right, I'm going to give you the stock number for reference on this guy. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar Warmblood 2+1 with air ride suspension. That stock number is 5N240995. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade, downsize, we can help you there. Financing is available, and delivery is a potential option as well. So we could bring this to your doorstep. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.